Hello everyone, welcome back to ThoseYGOguys. I'm your host Alessandro. So recently, well not too long ago, Kevin Tewart, who is one of the higher officials in the TCG department of Konami, he has posted an article talking about the July 2015 ban list. Of course, why there has not been any updates or any such. So he has given us a little feedback or also reasons why they haven't really created a list yet. First off, they talk about how they will update a list every time a new booster set or starter deck come out. And eventually they have moved from that and switched by changing the list to specific dates. First the 6 months apart, then later the 3 months apart. They like the 3 months apart list change, which it gives them a bit more flexibility in adjusting the list, and also addressing the needs of the players and making the game a bit fun for everyone. So, that's what those are the words of Kevin Tewart. But of course, as you have noticed recently from the April 2015 ban list, that there is no end date. Of course, as he has stated a little later, stating that, as I quote, "But having specific dates was running contrary to that. Because this list will end on date X, lines were limiting our flexibility. Sometimes we felt we had to hit a card because it might become a problem rather than because it was a problem. This is good practice sometimes, but not always. And occasionally, we ended up being a little heavy-handed, with players wondering, why did they do that?" And then continue on with the next paragraph. The problem for us was that when we were locked into only changing the list on specific dates, we had only those narrow windows to work with. You probably noticed that the current list, which took effect April 1st, has no end date. This was intentional. We're going to update the list very soon, but we're going to update the list when it's ready. When the time is right and when we had the feedback and data we need to make the best decision we can. So expect the list soon. Those are the words of Kevin Tewart. Now, granted, a lot of people were a little bit upset about it because it's like, throughout the years that Konami has released Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout the world, well, most major parts of the world, why now of all things? Which I understand that, it is kind of a little odd. Plus, what more was, and another point was, what more was there to really get the information? Because for most of the format, you got a good bit of information from your tournaments, and some people are arguing like, maybe Konami had looked into other tournaments besides their own events. That could be. But, I don't know. From what it seems, just by reading the article, and from what I have interpreted, it seems like they're going to change some things up a bit on how they do the ban list. Probably in future ban lists, we're probably not going to see some end dates, so I guess in a way, that's kind of a good thing. So I guess they will make more accurate hits, hopefully. That's what a lot of people are crossing their fingers. And on top of that, and And if something becomes a problem, you know, hey, they might do it like an emergency ban list and like, oh yeah, something pops up, here's a list for a little tiny adjustment, there, have fun. Something like that. I think that seems a bit fine for setting for an emergency ban list just in case something like, for whatever the reason, happens. But I don't, well, hopefully we won't jump to the point that it was that bad to the point of the game. Now, would that really change on like on power creep or anything? You know, the game is going to keep on evolving. Power creep is just kind of like how things are going. I mean, Konami introduced a new archetype. They want to promote the newer archetypes. You know, power creep happens. So, I mean, it's there. Another thing people are hoping for is Konami are going to be a little bit lenient on the older archetypes. Not the ones that recently just came out from the Duelist Alliance then on. But, like, hopefully they won't take too long to, you know, give stuff back to the older archetypes. Like, hopefully it won't reach to a point like what they did with Gladiator Beast when it took, like, a long period of time to unlimit Bestiary. Like, Bestiary has been stuck at 1 for a long period of time, and people are hoping that Konami be a tad bit more, or at least somewhat more merciful to certain archetypes. And, you know, I agree for sure on a few of the archetypes that are stuck on the list. Maybe not completely full power, but, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how a deck becoming like irrelevant, and then it's just still, and Konami's still not like giving it something back. One of the most well-known case scenario, like people are arguing like, why is wind-up carriers and Mighty still on the ban list when wind-ups are not doing anything for a long period of time, or injectors, like they're now with the new shift on how the game is going, like why is Hornet still limited? Of course, Dragonfly I can understand more why it stays at 1, which now I will understand more. Stuff like that. But leave a comment down below your feedback, like what you guys think about it. Now, I think the only thing I would say about this article that Kevin Tewart has done is it would be a little bit better if they had mentioned, like, you know, we don't know, like, by doing the dates of reservations and all that. I mean, maybe that's another reason why they haven't really posted an end date, because, you know, reservation and trying to take out a particular space and time, I mean, that's something you have to organize, and, you know, not everything goes according to plan, so you have to, you know, adjust things here and there. I think that sounds a bit better than just saying like you don't really know or have enough feedback. So, I mean, I think that's that. So what's next? So starting tomorrow, by the time I'm making this video, European Championship is going to be going on at the same time the South American WCQ. For those of you who are interested to follow or read along the coverages, feel free. Hopefully they will have these live streams like they did last year for European, because I actually enjoyed the last year's European Championship coverage. So, as always, leave a comment down below what you guys think about this article. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on Kevin Tewart's article, and probably a change in how they do the ban list? Maybe. The only thing I will say is, I mean, time will tell. It's too early to criticize Konami, or, you know, we have to see the list they will provide us soon. And probably at the earliest, maybe Monday, because I know this week, from what I've heard, the European site of Konami, they're not going to do any updates throughout this week until next week, which they will start doing updates. So that might be when they'll start doing Banlist change, but we'll have to find out and wait and see. So, I mean, the only thing I will say is, there's not much competitive scenes for now, maybe minus the ARG events, but they'll be like a little later of this month. So, as always, hope you guys enjoy, and let's hope for, a very decent list. That's all I can say, really. I mean, patience. That's all I have to say. Patience is a virtue. So take care, everyone. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.